These people, dressed as they are, come from all over the United States to make deals here in the marketplace of America. Let's make a deal. And now, here's America's top trader, TV's big dealer, Monty Hall.
Now, we don't have a lot of statistical concepts named after famous celebrities. There's no Jay-Z distribution, and there's no Kardashian quadrature, but we do have the Monty Hall effect. If you're my age or a little older, you may remember Monty Hall as the host of an old game show called Let's Make a Deal.
The deal is worth $8,757. Is it behind door number 1 or door number 2 or door number 3?
Contestants would come dressed in goofy costumes, and in the quintessential game on the show, Monty Hall would show them 3 doors. Behind one door, he hid a big prize, a car or a trip or something. But behind the other 2 doors, he'd hide a mediocre prize or maybe some gag gift.
Oh, no, not a lion either, but a ship of the desert, a live camel. Can you imagine this lady going back to Elgin, Illinois with a camel?
So the way it worked was that a contestant would pick the door, door number 1 or door number 2 or door number 3, where they thought the big prize was. Monty would then show them what was behind one of the other doors, a camel or a mediocre prize, and they'd be given the chance to stick with their original door or switch. Should you stay or should you switch? Well, it comes down to probability. At the start, what's the probability you pick the correct door? 1/3, right? There's 3 doors, you pick 1. But now, after showing you what's behind one of the doors, there's only 2 doors. What's the probability now that you have the correct door? 1/2. There's 2 doors and you have one of them. Isn't it 1/2? Nope. It's still 1/3. And that's the Monty Hall effect. Many people think their chances have improved up to 1/2, and they'll stay with their original door. In fact, they should switch because on average 2 out of 3 times the other door has the big prize. Now, that may seem crazy, and over the years this has confused a lot of very smart people. But to see why you should always switch, let's work through an example. All right? I'll be Monty Hall, and here are my 3 doors. Behind door number 1, I'm going to put a camel. All right. And behind door number 2, I'll put another camel. All right. And behind door number 3, that's where we'll put the sports car. All right. All ready to go. Now, here comes our contestant, and let's say that he picks door number 1. Now, as Monty Hall, it's my job to show him what's behind one of the other doors. And this is the important part. I have information that the contestant doesn't. I know where the car is, and I'm not going to open the door where the car is because that kind of ruins the whole game, doesn't it? Now remember, I know the car is behind door number 3. So I'll open door number 2 instead and show him the camel. I then ask the contestant, do you want to stay with door number 1 or switch to door number 3? Well, if he stays, he gets the camel and loses, right? On the other hand, if he switches to door number 3, he gets the sports car and wins. So switching's the right move in this case. All right? But what if you pick door number 2 instead? Let's close the curtains and pretend that our contestant picked door number 2 instead. right? Now, remember, the car is still behind door number 3. So when it comes time for me to show him what's behind one of the other doors, I'm not going to open that door. Instead, I'll show him what's behind door number 1. Now, this time when I ask him whether he wants to keep door number 2 or swap for door number 3, what should he do? Well, like we saw with door number 1, if he stays, he gets a camel and loses. But if he switches to door number 3, he gets the sports car and wins. All right? Now, one last possibility. What if you pick door number 3? Let's close the curtains and pretend that instead our contestant picked door number 3. The car's still behind door number 3, so when it comes time for me to show him behind one of the other doors, it doesn't really matter which door I choose. They both have a camel. As a result, because he picked the correct door at the start, switching is always the wrong choice. Instead, in this case, he wins by sticking with his original door. Now, overall, notice that if the contestant stays with their original choice, they lose twice and only win once. Their chance of winning is only 1/3. On the other hand, if they switch, they win twice and only lose once. They have a 2/3 chance of winning. And also, if you think about it, you should see that it doesn't matter which door gets the car at the start. It's always the same. 1/3 chance of winning if you stay with your original choice and 2/3 chance of winning if you switch. Now, the key is that because Monty Hall knew which door the car was behind, he knew which door not to open. That information influenced the results and the probabilities in a way that confused a lot of people, even people pretty comfortable with statistics. Now, I should also note that Monty Hall was interviewed about this a lot later on in life, and he'd point out that while they often did follow this pattern, there were times that they would mix it up a bit. But nevertheless, it's an entertaining and I think informative way of looking at statistics and how we come across probabilities in real life, even in game shows. Right? I hope you found this informative and entertaining. Okay? Take care. Bye-bye.